world champion New York Mets, Keith Hernandez, featuring Billy Preston and the Nightlife Band. Ladies and gentlemen, David Brenner.
I wish that those applause were for me and not my sweatshirt. But if there's one way of getting applause... Whoa! You came back. I don't care. Don't come back. No, I'm back to being Mr. Nice Guy. Our guest tonight, well, you know, you can say a lot of things about him. I think the best thing to do with Keith Hernandez is just show from just the 1986 season some highlights of this man in action. Watch this.
This ball hit to deep right center field. That's way back. Going back is Bonds, and it is gone goodbye. A two-run home run by Keith Hernandez, and the Mets lead 5-3.
Long drive to right. Well hit. Keith Moreland back. You can forget it. It's gone. 3-2 Mets. And Hernandez strikes again.
And he pops it up, and there might be a play for Hernandez. The gold glove, did he get it? He did. Rip toward Hernandez, who dives and makes the play. 2-away.
Fastball hit into left center field. Base hit. In comes Mazzilli. In comes Wilson. Stopping at third is Tuffle. 3-2 Boston.
So, this is like, so you lost the MVP, pal. No, I'm not gonna.
We won the World Series.
That's it. What are you doing now? Now it's all season, right? You know, it's all season. So what are you doing?
I've just been relaxing around town, and the season's so hectic, and I'm ready to go down to the Caribbean for around 2 weeks and around a week. Because the summers are, we have no time, so I love the sun, so I'm getting out of here.
Getting out of here. What do you, how do you separate? Do you separate baseball from your life? I mean, you put a division line and say, all right, this is baseball, and this is my life.
Well, you can do it pretty much during the season, too. And the baseball starts when you go to the ballpark, and that's normally get there around 4 o'clock. And the regimen is batting practice at 5, and by the time the game's over, it's midnight, and you get home. But in the off season is my time, and you know, you just don't have the time in the summer. So I always travel. I like to sail and do all those things, so I go south.
That's great, but you know, one thing that surprised me is you smoke, man. I mean, you know, you just don't think. Why do you smoke?
It's just nervous. I've been smoking since I was 20. And
I started when I was 9, but you know, I wasn't an athlete.
I only smoke at the park. So I never smoke at home.
You mean at the ballpark? That's the only time
if I don't have cigarettes with me, I won't smoke. But at the park, it's just too nerve-wracking. It just gives me something to do. I've done that for the last, well, shoot, I'm 33 now, 13 years.
You smoke during the season at the park?
Yeah, only.
But when you're off and you're sitting in the Caribbean and there's no reason to get your lungs in shape, you're not smoking.
Like,
I mean, there's something backwards here, you know?
well, I can't afford to smoke in the off season because it does build up, and I try to stay in shape, although I'm lazy. When I put on weight, as the older you get, you tend to put on weight, so I have to run. But during the season, you do all the exercise and you're running, and you can kind of blow it out a little bit, and your lungs don't get cluttered with all this smoke.
Well, why? You know, I always wonder, why do baseball players chaw, spit, and scratch? I mean, you know, there's no other sport. You don't see a tennis player. Oh, yeah. All right. Why do you guys do it? Why only you guys?
You've never had a cup on. Try it. You might try it.
Well, why don't you just wear a cup on your head and then? you know the idea of baseball players, like when you were a kid and you thought baseball players. I mean, you had an image of, I know all of us have images of baseball players. Now, when you became a baseball player, what was different than your image of what you thought players were like?
Well, I think that Jim Bouton's book, Ball 4, kind of shattered the image of the athlete. Everybody had the athlete as these gods put in a pedestal that lived the perfect life, and I think that book was really good for society. And then it showed the athlete in a human light, because we have our human frailties, and we're inclined to do things this way. The athletes drink, and we're on the road so much, and it gets lonely on the road. And we're night people. We play night games predominantly, and you know, I come on after a game, and it's midnight. You know, if I go to my hotel room, I'll go crazy. It takes me around an hour and a half to come down from a game. So you tend to go out with some of the guys, a hotel bar or whatever, have dinner or have a few beers.
Well, what do you think the public held of all people? The public, they accept anything from show business people. I mean, anybody's in my field. I mean, you can go and sleep with a dragon, you know, and then. But athletes have always held up to be like on pedestals. Why? Why athletes?
I don't know. I think that people in general, I think a lot of, especially the males, have always wanted to be ball players. There's a lot of guys that played in high school that didn't make it, because there's only 725 professional baseball players. And you compare that with the number of the population of the country, it's a very select few that make it. And everybody has that fancy to be a big league ball player, and I think that, you know, they think that people are amazed when they see me smoke. Oh, you smoke. It's a normal question. Or you drink 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, why aren't you in bed sleeping? They just have this image, the way we should live, and they really lose sight of the fact that we're like everybody else.
Well, we also used to do that with school teachers. Remember, I swore, I was about 17 years old, I thought that school teachers never went to the bathroom. We'll be back with more Breaking Illusions after this. Keith Hernandez, when you won that World Series, what does it mean to you personally to win that series?
Well, I think it's the greatest accomplishment, because it's as much as baseball is an individual sport, as far as it's you and the pitcher, vice versa. It's still 24 guys, and you start March 1st, and it's over, like this year was over late October.
Yeah,
That's 7 months every day, and you live with each other day in, day out, and that is the one major goal. The season starts is to win it, and to accomplish it. It's my second. There's no greater feeling. It's just a feeling of oneness, and we pull together, and there's a lot of ups and downs in the season, so there's no greater feeling.
Well, you actually thought in the sixth, you thought you lost it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you walked out. You said, that's it.
Well, I made the second out, and we're down, what was it, 2 runs?
Yeah.
And nobody on base, and I went in Davy's office and sat down in his chair, and I pounded a few buds. Then we got the rally going, and all of a sudden the game was tied up, and I ran to get my glove, which was in my locker in my hat. I was halfway out the door to go back on the field, and I said, wait a minute, I'm going to stay right here, because that seat had hits in it. It's a rally seat. So I went back into Davy's office and sat down in the chair, and sure enough, Buckner, the ball went right through his legs.
Yeah.
And we win.
You know, it's a good thing you weren't sitting in the John when that happened. You ever in your quiet moments alone, do you ever relive moments of that series? Do you ever go through it in your mind, like things that come back to you about it? Besides the victory, I mean things that maybe, geez, if I would have done that. You still go through that?
Well, you look back, you know, from a personal standpoint, I always remember the hit off of Hurst that made it 3-2. But what sticks out in my mind more is more or less the playoffs. The playoffs was more exciting against Houston. That was a great series, and we knew we were in for a tough series against Houston, and that is the one that gets us to the World Series. If we lose that, we're not there. And that was such a great series, and I have nothing but memories of that series. That was such a great experience for me. And everybody, New York, everybody.
Yeah, everyone went crazy. Why do you think it happens to, I guess it's every ball player, why do you think a ball player gets into a slump? What happens? I mean, there are days when you don't get a hit or you're hitting it wrong, but the next day you come back and got 2 hits or something. But then there are times you just hit that. Why a slump? Is it like a psychological thing, like, well, I don't have it going for me, and then you talk yourself into it? What happens?
Well, I think you can talk yourself into a deeper slump than it really is, but it's 162 games in 182 days. We only have 20 off days in the summer, and it's every day, and you're going to go through periods where you're going to lose your timing. And I always have a mid-season slump. And I think Lou Brock once told me that a lot of it is 90% of the slumps are mental. You get tired physically, tired mentally. You're not really mentally acute, sharp. You lose a little bit of your acuteness at the plate, in which you need 100% concentration. And there's not a man alive that can play 150, 160 games and not go through a slump. I've been fortunate as a Met. I've only gone through 1 slump a year, but they've been dandies, and it's really prevented me from hitting 320, 330 instead of hit 310.
Well, you were saying before about the lucky seat. You know, I don't think anyone's more superstitious than baseball players. I mean, they are. You watch, like when I'm at the game, you watch and you say, this is really neurotic. He'll always do this, or this one always do that, or certain bat, a certain shoe. I mean, what's yours? What are your...
Well, I have a ritual I do in the on-deck circle, and I am very superstitious. If I'm red hot, I always have my donut and the big weight, the bat weight, and the pine tar on the right of me. I always stay on one knee, and I have my towel between my legs. And don't take that wrong. You know, it's on the ground. And that's my good luck position. If things go bad, I'll switch something around. If I come out a certain way with the things in a different place, I'll stay with that until that well runs dry.
Do you ever? What's the weirdest superstition that you've ever seen a ball player go through?
Oh, Bernie Carbo was probably the worst. Bernie had a different stance. Bernie was the only player I ever played with that he had a stance for every week, and I have one stance. I hardly ever. You don't change it. You grow up one way hitting.
I mean, he changed it from week to week.
And Bernie had a good career, and played it around 12 years. And he'd just come to the park one day and say, "I don't feel good with this stance. I think I'm gonna stand straight up today, Keith." And he would go standing straight up for around 2 weeks, and then he would stop hitting, and he'd go, "I don't think I like that anymore," and he'd go back into a crouch. And that was just the craziest thing I ever saw.
But he had to work for him. See, sometimes it's psychological.
Exactly.
Right?
The power of positive thinking is where it's at. I mean, you've got to eliminate all negative, obviously.
How do you think the Mets are going to do next year?
I think we're going to do fine. We got great pitching. Pitching won it. And we're young. All of our pitchers are young, and we got, I'm one of the older players, and Gary and I are 33, which is not really like we're on the sunset of our career, but we're on the backside of it. But all the younger players in the team that did so much are there, like 21, 22, 25, below 30. Yeah. And that's a good sign. I think the team's going to be good for a long while. Whether we win it next year, who knows? Right. There'll be trades made, but I think we'll be right there in the thick of it. How do you
like the way the New York fans treated you this year?
Oh, they're the greatest.
Huh?
They're great fans. I tell you, the Mets were down for so many years, and I played in St. Louis, coming to Shea and see 2,000 people there, and to be a part of the resurgence and see the fans come back and playing in front of 50,000 New Yorkers at Shea, It's just a great experience, and it was just a delight to bring the pennant and the World Series championship home to the Shea fans. They waited a long time for it.
Yeah, they sure did. We'll be right back after this. If you had, we're really running out of time, if you had one moment to relive that was a great moment out of the season, other than the moment that you won the championship, what would it be for you personally? One play, one thing that you felt?
Personally?
Yeah.
That'd be the hit off Hurst in the Game 6 that made it 3-2.
That made it 3-2. Well, that was a great moment. Well, as a New Yorker, I wish you another championship, and thanks a lot for coming on Nightlife.
Great.
Good night, everyone.
Some of the guests of Nightlife stay at the UN Plaza. Enjoy what New York has to offer, then experience the hotel that rises above the rest. The United Nations Plaza Hotel. For reservations, call 1-800-228-9000. Transportation provided by Esquire Limousine, New York's most prestigious limousine service, where the service performed is truly personal. When in New York, call 212-737-7000 for Esquire Limousine Service. I'm Dan Ingram. Good night.